Comics and powered by the Red 5 Network. For more, visit red5.bio.link. Good morning. Happy Monday, my little nerd babies. My little nerdlings. Did you have a good weekend? I had a very busy weekend. I recorded yesterday. For those who follow the channel on the community tab or social media, you'll see that I actually finally got to finish recording my... This is a little dark. I feel like it's a little dark and I've lost my light remote. Anyway, I finished recording my Supergirl breakdown, and I used like this gold glitter look, and I don't know if you can tell, but I have gold glitter just completely stuck all in my eyelashes. I've washed my face and my eyes. I washed my eyes 4 times since I did the look, and there is still glitter all over me. I would say from like my waist to here, gold glitter everywhere. I feel like it's 1999 to 2001 all over again. I was a big fan of glitter. Most of us were. But yes, I'm a glittery mess. And yes, I am going to be powering through this week to try and get that breakdown to you before the channel goes on hiatus next week for leg issues. But don't worry, Kino has been hard at work pulling up a bunch of clips for you guys from some old interviews, some videos that I'm going to have scheduled to drop while I am unavailable for uploading and live streaming. Maybe I'll pop in a couple times, show you guys the sights of Oklahoma City. Yes. But do me a huge favor. Huge favor. And hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more of this nerdy nonsense. And consider joining the channel as a member. We've got plenty of room. Okay? Plenty of perks like almost said easy access. Like early access and polls and sneak peeks and emojis and members only streams. We don't have enough yet to do the live streams. So we need more members to do the live streams, and then we're going to have members only watch parties. So I'm excited about that. All right, guys. Do I have any other announcements? I don't think I do. But, 20 minutes from now, I'll probably suddenly remember. But it's that time. Let's yell good morning at everyone. Penny! Welcome, Penny, to the Nerdling Army. Welcome, my dear. I am so happy to have the hardest working subscriber on YouTube. Hardest. Good morning, Penny, and welcome. Good morning, Ensign Nerdling, deranged lunatic. He loves the emojis, and I love that you do. Buenos dias, Fernando. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Maria. Oh, this is so exciting, and of course, I'm going to play that again every time we get a new member. Welcome, and thank you. All right, guys. As always, scratch my ear there. You guys are the best. You're the best. You're the absolute best. Very excited. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I'm going to throw this all up here. A lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to try to get through it. Remember, this is absolutely driven by you guys. This is a conversation. A conversation. I love it. I love the emojis. I need more. I need more. All right, guys. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's see what we got. Checking my notes. Oh, here we go. I just started playing this game. You guys know I am not a big not a big gamer and stuff. The only game I've played consistently for the last 20 something years is The Sims and different incarnations of it. But I've recently gotten into playing, story driven games. I didn't have a lot of time to play Vigi games when my kids were growing up, period. I just oh my gosh. Yeah, there we go. That's trying to I think I need like an extension for this. Okay. I'm gonna put this over here and probably switch to water. But anywho, I haven't played a lot of games. I really got into, I can't remember what inspired me to play the Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor games. Probably one of my kids. But I played those, loved them, absolutely fell in love with it. And a few people suggested to me I check out God of War. I'm a huge fan of mythology and games like Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order. So I've been playing God of War, the very first one on PC at night as my adulting gold star when I get all my chores done, all my work done. And I'm really enjoying it. It's a great story. It's a lot of fun. It's beautiful. I really, really enjoy it. So then I discovered they are actually doing a God of War series on Amazon, and it's going to adapt the 2018 game, which I'm playing currently. So God of War Amazon Prime Video series will start filming next year in March of 2026. We'll have 10 episodes and be adapted from the 2018 God of War. Neat. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's a great game. It's a great story. Totally looking forward to it. If you guys have any thoughts about that, leave it in the chat below. Any big fans of God of War? We got a couple new people in the chat, or just one. Loki, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And we are going to get to that, Fernando. We're going to get to that. Good morning, Hunter. Okay. Beep, 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 beep. All right. So if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts, or super chats about God of War, leave it in the chat below. Super chats will always get preferential treatment with comments as well as members. Because I can't give you your money's worth, right? Right? Okay, guys. Let me check my notes. Let's see. All right, let's just jump into this. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is actual video. A man in an AMC theater in Arizona urinated in the middle of the Demon Slayer movie, splashed it on a child, like flung his pee on a child sitting near him. A group of people in the theater beat the absolute crap out of him until he was no longer able to stand and ushered out by the police.
Damn you! I always knew that stupid geezer liked you more than me! Why else would he only teach you that technique?
Look at this. There he is. So this is...
7, 4, breathing. 7, 4.
And then, of course,
Damn, bro, you fucked the movie up.
this is what he's upset about. It ruined the movie for him. The dude peed on a child. There he goes. What on earth? Good morning, Nerdling First Class Backyard TARDIS. Obsessed. He's obsessed. Yeah. So we have a mental health crisis in this country. Okay. I don't. What on earth? I don't know who I'm getting a call from. Fernando, he absolutely deserves it. Who splashes pee-pee on a child? I mean, what a disgusting human being. That is severe mental illness. Anyone who would do that, severely mentally ill. Get help. There is... make asylums a thing again. I'm telling you. Or get the government out of health insurance so it can be entirely, truly privatized again. Create competition between practitioners. Make it more affordable again. Make healthcare access affordable and accessible again. Now, I do know that this is a fact. Crazy doesn't know it's crazy. The mentally ill don't know that they're mentally ill. They have no frame of reference. Just like I don't know what it's like to walk with 2 legs and 2 ankles. A mentally ill person is not going to know that their reality is not reality, you know? So it's very difficult to, how do I put this? Mentally ill person doesn't necessarily realize that they need mental health help. Someone who is really deep into it thinks they're perfectly fine and it's everyone else. So getting them to, they have to want to get help. I don't know how I feel about involuntary commitments and stuff. That's something that I think takes some serious, immediate risk. There has to be immediate risk involved for that. Man, this is a serious issue. It's as if people didn't want to go to the movies as it is. I mean, there was not that many people in that theater. Look at this. It's a pretty empty theater. Look at that. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of people standing over there, but look at all these seats. Do we think that group of people filled every single one of these seats? So it's difficult getting people to go to the movie theaters as it is. Because 1, it's ridiculously expensive now. As we've said multiple times, like $100 at least for 2 people to go to the movie theater. 2, movies just have not been up to par in the last few years. Then several years ago, that man who assaulted all of those people at the Batman showing, the Batman movie, there was that. And now this kind of stuff. It's just, theaters are in danger. I mean, anyone going to, oh God. Just a shame. I hope that child is okay. If anyone assaulted my child, I probably would have reacted the same way. Just, being honest. So if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts about this horrible incident, leave it in the chat below. We're going to move on. Two other things. Aha. There's a piece of glitter right next to my eyeball. So, according to this right here, let me pull this up. The content has been deleted by the author. So the source that Cosmic Marvel is citing here has been deleted. Oh, glitter. It says here that Grogu is referred to as the Force's heir in the galaxy in a new official description for The Mandalorian and Grogu. But when I click on that link and go to it, it's a Wixen official accounts platform. It says the content has been deleted by the author, so it's no longer there. But how do we feel about Grogu being the Force's heir in the galaxy? Have we just completely... Now, I'm not entirely against moving on from the Skywalker family. They pretty much put the nail in that coffin with the sequel trilogy. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling, in that opinion. I'm okay with it not being Rey at all. Miss, I don't have to train. But Grogu. It does sound a bit goofy, Fernando. It does sound a bit goofy. Luke Skywalker, who dat? Good morning, Omari. Even Daisy Ridley is fine with not being Rey. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. In fact, a very good friend today texted me and asked me to pray for forgiveness for Rian Johnson for what he has done. It does sound a bit goofy, but I'm okay with it not being Rey. I'm okay with moving on from the Skywalkers. But at this point, I feel like we need something completely and entirely new that doesn't damage canon even more than they already have. Let's dive into Legends. There is a preponderance of source material, a giant well from them to dip from, but Disney was like, yeah, no. When we bought the place in 2012, we had that walled off. Maria with the hot take. I've always felt like Rey got too much hate. I'm on Team Rey. I would have been Team Rey had they gone about her whole thing differently. I'm even okay with her being a Palpatine if she had stayed Palpatine. I think it's odd that she adopted herself, and that if she's carrying all the Jedi of the past in her, why did she only see Luke and Leia? I feel like they really Mary Sued her. It didn't feel like it was a big deal, you know? Like it should have been a more difficult, bigger deal than what they made it. It's not her fault. It's not even really the character's fault. It's the writers. It's Rian Johnson's fault. They didn't do it justice at all. It could have been amazing. They didn't do it justice. Omari, aren't there tons of Star Wars books and comics? How has Disney not? That's exactly what I'm saying. But in 2012, when Disney bought the franchise, they were like, those aren't real anymore. Those aren't real. And in fact, from what I hear, one of the big fights that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni had over and over again with Disney and Kathleen Kennedy was they wanted to pull from those books and those comics. And Disney would fight them. And like, no, those aren't canon. That's extended universe. That's legends, not canon. So it's a shame. Hopefully they do something, or just can we move on from this whole storyline period and try something else? I mean, you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. You're getting the same lackluster results. I have been like beating the drum for a legit history of the Mandalorians for years. I would love to see a series or a movie about how the Mandalorians came about. Start with the Tongs, that reptilian praying mantis race, green aliens, and their battle with the Jedi over Coruscant. I would love to see that. I think it would be fascinating. The Mandalorians have such an absolutely rich history and fictional culture. I'm telling you, it would do so well. Medea says the Skywalkers were a big influence on her life, even Han Solo. Yeah, but again, the writing they just didn't do all that justice, though. They just didn't. And she's not a Skywalker to me. I wish it, my belief, my opinion is that they should have absolutely pulled from Legends. They should have done the Mara Jade storyline and them have a child. And should have done Jason and what was the daughter's name? Han and Leia had twins. They should have done all of that. That's what they should have done. And it would have gone over like gangbusters. It would have been amazing. Backyard TARDIS member and moderator says, back to the individual at the movie theater, the Demon Slayer film. As someone who works with people with mental health every day, we need to bring back mandatory mental health. There needs to be rules and boundaries, of course, but it needs to come back. I'm a huge proponent for health insurance. Health insurance legit is a legal Ponzi scheme. As someone who has to deal with health insurance on a daily basis, there are several medications my insurance will not pay for because I'm on disability. I have Medicare. And because I'm on Medicare will not pay for medication that I need because they don't think I need it, even though they're not physicians. They're just accountants. That is a huge problem. The government is getting to dictate what the doctors do to try and save lives. And how is that helping anyone? It's just making things more expensive because there's no competition. Zero competition. We need to get rid of it, in my opinion. Get rid of it and allow for competition between practitioners and physicians. It'll make things cheaper and more accessible. That's just basic economics right there. And I don't like that my doctor or my 7 doctors are just as frustrated as I am with my healthcare because they can't get paid for it through insurance. So that's one of the huge issues with mental health is you have to justify to the insurance, to the government, that you need mental health care. You realize like Medicare, Medicaid doesn't really pay for that. If they pay for it, you have to jump through an unbelievable amount of hoops and red tape. And the physicians that they will pay, because you got to use in network, are so overbooked. You're waiting probably a year or more for an appointment. And then when you get there, you're probably going to be there all day just waiting to get in. And by the time you see this mental health professional, they're so, what's the word I'm looking for? And they're just spread so thin. They're spread so thin that they barely have the energy or capacity to pay attention to you and give you the best care that you need and deserve. It's a disaster. Jaina, that was the name. Thank you. Um, that's a big problem. That's a big problem. People can't get mental health care because I'm not kidding. The government and insurance, which the government is in charge of what insurance, that's how it works. They will pay for only what they feel is necessary for you to live. They don't think that mobility aids like wheelchairs, prosthetic limbs, mental health care is necessary for you to continue to live. And we wonder why there is a crisis in this country. That's the crisis. Deranged lunatic. What I was told is insurance pays for what you need, not what you want. But I think it's kind of bull, especially when your doctor agrees with you. Your doctor is the one sending to insurance, and it's like an ask. They are requesting. They have to send a compliance request or whatever to insurance, and then insurance decides if you need it or not. It's not insurance pays what for what you need, not what for you want. It's insurance decides what you need. The doctor says, okay, I've reviewed your chart, I've examined you, and this is what I think the physician who went to school for a million years and paid all this money and has all this education, this is what I think, I believe will benefit you and your health. They can't just sign off on it and just do it. They have to send a request to insurance. Some accountants look at it, and those accountants decide whether or not you need it. People who are not medical professionals. Does that not sound goddamn ridiculous? Bass backwards, as my grandmother would say. So, what a tangent we've gone on. But that's the crisis in this country. The legal Ponzi scheme of insurance that is supposed to be, is under this guise of we have insurance now, so you can get medical care. You can get help now. We're here to help you. And then it's all no. Yeah, they don't want to pay out. They don't want to pay for anything. They want you to pay a monthly premium and pay them and them get rich and never have to pay out for anything because they don't get rich and powerful off of, paying out. So is that not messed up? It took me 5 years to get my knee reconstructed because insurance kept making these doctors do all these things to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that yes, my knee was off center by 2 inches and it was causing me extreme pain and, health issues. 5 years. I had to suffer for 5 years going through all these completely unnecessary procedures. Seriously, unnecessary procedures. Health-wise, unnecessary. MRIs for 5 years before I got my knee reconstructed. And insurance also said I had to leave the hardware in my knee for a year before they're allowed to remove it, even though it's causing me extreme pain, making it difficult to move around and tearing up my soft tissue. I'm sorry, and you call me whatever you want, but anytime someone tells me what we need is more government involvement in our insurance, I will laugh at you. I will absolutely laugh at you because this is what it's like when the government is involved. The government gets to dictate your health. The government gets to decide your health. It's your body. It's your body, your life, your health, and the government And these insurance companies are the ones in charge. So, good morning, Nerdling First Class Ensign, contributing producer, editor, Kino. DL says, did you hear the story from Canada where a veteran needed a chairlift to get upstairs? They offered her the chairlift or a pill that would end her life. Disgusting. That's government involvement. Penny says, I've worked for 2 insurance companies. Deny is the way of things. And my doctor, and I spoke to her this morning, I told her what you told me to tell her. And she said, I've appealed several times. I've sent them your scans. I've told them that you're high risk of stroke because of your skeletal issues. They denied it. They don't care. They absolutely do not care. So anyway, that's the mental health crisis in this country. It's not that we don't have enough government involvement and free health care. Listen, I have free health care from the government, and they deny virtually everything I need to live. You have no idea what I have to go through just to get a new prosthetic leg. This one has been falling off for almost a year, and I've injured myself multiple times. But it took 6 months to get the government to approve that I needed a new one. Anyone who says we need universal government involved healthcare has never needed healthcare to live, to just survive. I guarantee you that. It's malarkey. All right, guys. We got to move on to actual nerdy shit. Because I will get on a tangent about this and preach. But that's what the Belgian project was for. And that didn't work out. So Backyard Tardis said that he thought that Grogu was a good choice to be the heir of the Force. So far, everything I'm hearing about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie does sound goofy, though. And unless it's like Ewoks or Jar Jar, I don't want the whole movie to just be goofy. God, I miss good Star Wars. Like seasons 1 and 2, The Mandalorian and Rogue One. But we're going to move on from it. So if you guys have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts about Grogu and his inheritance of the Force, leave it in the chat below. Speaking of the Disney World, My Time to Shine Hello is saying that Icarus, one of the Eternals, is going to return in the future for more. Now, we do know he's in Marvel Zombies. And they have said that, they're not doing the Eternals sequels anymore, but we're hearing that Icarus is going to return. I love Richard Madden. I think he's a phenomenal actor. Big fan of him. Game of Thrones. I liked Eternals. I didn't think it was terrible. Definitely not the worst. I mean, honestly, in the last several years, it's one of the better things that Marvel has put out there. Good morning, Dom. Give us a Jar Jar movie. I don't hate him as Icarus, and I would like to see more of Richard Madden. So there is that. But also, the Park Place has this is like 2 days ago. Is it? Yeah, 2 days ago, that Park Place wrote a story that Disney has been busted for copyright infringement again as court rules the Mouse House stole tech for Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. In a stunning turn of events, the Walt Disney Company has once again found guilty of copyright infringement after a federal appeals court reversed a prior ruling that had cleared the entertainment giant. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals reinstated the original jury verdict, declaring that Disney bears responsibility for using stolen technology in one of its blockbuster films. The case centers on MOVA Contour I don't know if it's MOVA or MOVA contour, a groundbreaking motion capture system owned by Reardon LLC. The technology was designed to flawlessly transfer human performances into computer-generated characters. According to Reardon, Disney used MOVA contour in its 2017 live-action remake of Beauty and the Beast without permission. Disney's vendor DD3 allegedly deployed the software in the visual effects work that brought Dan Stevens' Beast to life. Reardon claimed that this was outright theft of intellectual property. In the first trial, a jury sided with Reardon, slapping Disney with a $600,000 fine, of which the company ended up paying just over $300,000. But the courtroom drama didn't stop there, which, come on, don't tell me that Disney couldn't afford it. Like, come on. In August 2024, U.S. District Judge John Teagar, is it Tigar or Teagar, stunned industry watchers by overturning the jury's verdict. Teagar ruled that there wasn't enough evidence Disney knowingly used the pirated software, essentially letting the studio off the hook for a year. It looked like Disney had escaped liability. One steals like Gaston. Be our theft, put our dribble to the test. But Reardon wasn't finished. They appealed, and now the Ninth Circuit Court has dropped a legal bombshell. The appellate judges concluded that Reardon did, in fact, present sufficient evidence for a jury to hold Disney responsible. The key phrase, Disney had the practical ability to stop or limit DD3's infringing conduct. They could have said, no, thank you. They could have said no. Translation. Even if Disney didn't personally press the button on the pirated software, the studio had enough oversight and control to prevent its vendor from using it. And by failing to do so, Disney became liable. The ruling isn't just about one fine or one movie. It sends a shockwaves through Hollywood's entire production pipeline. Studios are on notice. Outsourcing effects work doesn't mean escaping responsibility. If a vendor uses stolen software, the studio can still be dragged into court because they're working for you. They're doing something at your behest. Investors and innovators are emboldened. Reardon CEO Steve Perlman praised the decision, saying it would help protect creative breakthroughs from being exploited by entertainment giants. Disney's image takes another hit. After years of brand damaging headlines, being labeled guilty of copyright theft yet again adds fuel to critics who argue the company's golden era is long gone. Their bubble has burst. We've known about this for some time. The Mouse House now faces not only the embarrassment of being found guilty twice, but also the possibility of additional penalties or stricter enforcements of damages. Disney has not commented publicly on this new ruling. What's clear is this. A federal appeals court just confirmed that Disney, the company that built its empire on fairy tales, is now living through a legal nightmare of its own making. And they have more lawsuits against them still. Bo DiMaio is still suing them. Gina Carano sued them and won. I don't give a shit what you TikTok kids say. They settled. And the only time you settle is when you know you cannot win. She got everything she asked for. Ergo, Gina won. She won that suit. It's not looking good for the mouse. But at least they're being held accountable for their actions, at least in this case. Kino says studios make sure that even freelancers have legit software if the contract artist is using printed software company, and artists can and will be sued. They had enough oversight. A court determined they had enough oversight. Translation, they knew. They were aware. They are an employee of the company, therefore an extension of the company, and the company had oversight. They knew. So now they have to finish paying out the other $300,000, which is nothing to them. They shit out $300,000 on half a movie that makes nothing. Nothing. They just didn't want it on paper that they were wrong. The mouse doesn't like to be found fallible. So there's that. If you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts about Disney being found guilty of copyright infringement, again, leave it in the chat below. Take a sip of coffee. And again, please remember, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new, guys. We are almost to 10,000 subscribers. I'm not kidding. We're like 300 subscribers away from 10,000. Mind blown. I'm so awkward and obnoxious and not that articulate. But hey, my hair looks nice. Got nice glasses. That's what you're here for, right? The hair and the glasses. That's what I thought. All right. Let's see. We've got that. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And let's see. Let me find it. So there's an official. I wonder if this has been taken down too. So, yep. That website, again, they've deleted all of it. It's the Wixen.com. So this site, pardon me, they had reported on not only the description of the Mando Grogu movie, but also the official synopsis for Avengers Doomsday. That information has also been deleted, but here's what it said. Dr. Doom has officially arrived in the MCU. This villain, a master of cutting-edge science and powerful magic, will unleash a cascading crisis across the entire multiverse. I mean, is that telling us anything we didn't already know? I feel like it's not. And yet it was deleted. Disney must have listen, we're having a bad week. We can't have anything else slip out. I mean, Loki says, so he's doing what Kang was going to do anyway. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. But weren't they saying, I've heard, and I believe we've talked about this before, I've heard that because of what the Avengers did in Endgame with Cap, them getting all the Infinity Stones and then Cap going back and putting the stones back, but staying in the past to have a life with Peggy Carter, messes stuff up, and Doom's like, I gotta fix this, so I'm gonna go kill all these. That's what I've heard. But it's basically the Kang storyline, I feel like, but with a mildly different motivation. I don't know. I like the Russos. I've liked every Marvel movie the Russos have done. I don't care what Dom and Loki say. I liked Electric State. I like the Russos, but I don't trust Disney. You know, I don't trust Disney not to mess with the recipe while they're trying to cook. That's what I don't trust. Good morning, Truth. What is up? What's up? So it's a really weird feeling. I can't, why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Now I'm like all distracted and I can't think of anything from that movie or anything of what I was saying. You're a butthole. I just said it. What was I even saying now? This is Dom's fault because he said something and I looked at it and then my brain just completely farted. Anyway, I don't trust Disney to quit messing with the creatives. If you're going to hire a creative, let the creative be creative. Loki. Dom, I'm the troll here, okay? Listen, I just feel like Loki and Dom should just be members of the channel at this point. I'm just saying. The truth. Didn't the Russos film Tom Holland's butthole for a film? Oh my God. Did they? What? Oh my God. I'm dead. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Hey! It worked. Is it not playing? Can you not hear it? Where's my... I think my headphones broke. Let me check. I think they broke. Let's try it. Ow! Oh. Oh. They did. Oh. No, now I need new headphones. Okay, so it worked there. But anyway, well. Oh my God. What a crazy effing chat today. So apparently I don't even know I don't know where the other piece went. It yanked out of my ear and then disappeared. This is a crazy stream today. This is a crazy stream. Hold on. I got to make an adjustment. And you guys are just going to be cool with it. You're going to be cool with it. I do not want to tell Dave that I need a new pair of earbuds. He's all stressed out about us having to go to get my leg. He's very stressed out about it. Like, I asked him to pick me up some cottage cheese, and he was like, we have to go to Oklahoma, Smurf. We have to save money. It's like $2 for a thing of cottage cheese. Yeah, I said I need another piece. I just want to be able to afford some cottage cheese and a fake leg. That's all. Oh my God. You guys are the highlight of my day. Oh my God, you kill me. All right, guys. Moving on. Hey, the guy who plays Chief Bach is like super excited for Booster Gold because his friend's doing it. So Penny says, I found a pair of earbuds at Five Below for $2. My daughter still wear. Really? We don't have a Five Below here. I live in a tiny little town in Southeast Missouri. Well, I mean, tiny compared to probably what you guys might be used to. But we don't have a Five Below. We don't have a Target or a Ross or, I mean, name some stuff. We probably don't have it. We have one movie theater that has 4 screens and they're small. And we didn't get that movie theater until 1992. It's when Farmington got its first movie theater. All right, guys, moving on. So let's talk the Emmys really quick. We got a couple red carpet moments that I think you guys would be interested in. First of all, big congratulations to Trammell Tillman. He absolutely earned this Emmy. He is amazing as Mr. Milchek in Severance. Severance is one of my favorite shows ever. Dude, of course we have a Casey's. This is Southeast Missouri, my dude. There's one thing you can guarantee in every small town across the United States. You're going to have a Dollar General. It could be in the middle of a cornfield, but there will be a Dollar General and there will be a Casey's. Trammell Tillman, he is absolutely one of my new favorite actors ever. I absolutely adore him. He is just flawless in his craft. I'm very impressed by him and his work as Mr. Milchek in Severance. Severance is chef's kiss. As annoying as I do find Ben Stiller sometimes, I do really love his work on Severance. And I'm very concerned that this next season, season 3, is not being directed by Ben Stiller. Like, I feel like we shouldn't be messing with the formula at this point. It's done so well. Why are we messing with the formula? So, but big congrats to Trammell Tillman and, of course, Britt Lower, who won Best Supporting Actress. I can't find it. But when she accepted her Emmy, she was reading her speech off some notes. And on the back side of it, it said, "Let me out," which is, of course, something Helly R tried to do multiple times to get out. So congrats to Trammell Tillman, Britt Lower, and, of course, Kristen Milioti. She won for The Penguin. Definitely earned. Definitely earned.
Sophia so much.
Let's hear what she has to say.
Thank you so much. I'm so profoundly grateful. I thank you so sorry. I wrote this on the back of notes that I took in therapy the other day.
I mean, I think all actors should be in therapy. I mean, you're drawing from sometimes some very emotional places. It's good to talk about. I mean, and big proponent for therapy. I'm in therapy. I love therapy. I basically paying someone to listen to me whine, and that's great.
So don't look at the back. I loved making this show, and I loved playing Sophia so much, and it's very hard to make sense of being alive right now in this world, and so I'm deeply grateful for the bright spots and making this show with our. Thank you.
That's it. But big congratulations, so deserved. Is this like 3 awards now? She's won for Sofia Gigante. Love her. Love The Penguin. The Penguin is just a phenomenal series. So big congrats to that lady right there. And I lost my spot. Andor won for Best Writing in a Drama Series. Do you want to hear the history real quick? Like, Medea gets it. I don't really watch the awards shows anymore. I just wait until they've been announced. FYI, my best friend got nominated for Makeup in a Variety Series for the Creative Arts Emmys for the 2nd year in a row or 3rd year in a row. And for the 2nd or 3rd year in a row, he lost to Saturday Night Live again. Feels so bad. But hey, listen, he's got more Emmys than I do feet, so we do all right in a sack race. Awards shows are kind of lame. Now, the reason why awards shows began for actors and Hollywood. It came from Louis B. Mayer because actors kept basically, they were threatening to quit, asking for things that Louis B. Mayer didn't want to give up. And he felt like they were being ungrateful and they felt unappreciative. So Louis B. Mayer came up with the Oscars. He came up with the Oscars to keep the actors in line, to keep them happy and placated so they wouldn't strike or ask for more benefits or walk out. That's where award shows for, the creative art, that's where this has all come from. To control people. And that is an absolute 5,000% fact. You can look it up. Again, watch the documentary on Netflix. It will open your eyes to a lot of things. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. Yes, kudos to Noah Wyle for The Pit. Love that show. I fought against watching it for some reason, and then I watched it in a day and absolutely love it. Yes, I can't wait to ruin the rest of Loki's day. Because as soon as you posted that yesterday or last night, I wanted to send it to Ro so bad. Yes, their egos. Ego stroking. Andor won the Emmy for Best Writing in a Drama Series. I do love Andor. I do like Andor. I had my issues with this season. I don't think it was as good as season 1, but I do believe that the better shows, the shows that are actually doing the job of entertaining people, should be acknowledged for that. So, Fernando, I understand acting isn't easy, but the actors are also not digging ditches either. So, I agree with you. Especially the extremely famous, and I'm talking like A-list of the A-list, the elite A-list actors. They do not live in the reality that average human being lives in. And I get very annoyed and exacerbated when they stand on soapboxes and tell us they know what's best for us and who we should vote for and what we should do. And how would you even have the slightest like Ricky Gervais said, you have no business whatsoever speaking to that, because you don't know. You have no idea. So that's my biggest issue with them, is like, you don't know what's best for me because you've never lived in my reality. And if you did, I don't know if you could survive it. You don't even buy your own groceries anymore. Sean Penn. Sean Penn, Mark Ruffalo. I mean, those are some of the most insufferable. I mean, Javier Bardem is getting up there too. Tom Hanks, like, shut up. Shit. I just want you to stop ruining movies for me. It's very hard to separate the artist from the art when it comes to like Mark Ruffalo, Tom Hanks, and Sean Penn. It's just, you've ruined it for me. I never want to see Mark Ruffalo on screen again. It's so frustrating. Backyard TARDIS. Wow, you're the first person I've met that liked Andor season 1 better than season 2. I watched season 1 and hated it, so I didn't watch season 2. I like season 1 better. I just do. I did. I like Mickey 17 because I get to watch that actor bite it. He was awful. He played an awful person, and you were supposed to hate him, and that made it even better. Pedro Pascal. Mark Hamill has ruined. I never want to see him as Luke Skywalker again. He is one of the reasons why the Skywalker family is just done. Shut your mouth. And Stephen King. Stephen King gets all these book orders canceled, flat out canceled. And then he ran his mouth saying horrible things about the late Charlie Kirk, celebrating his demise, his assassination virtually, and can't sell tickets to the long walk. It's dead in the water now. Completely dead in the water. And they keep having this decrepit old man who looks like he has a more difficult time walking around than I do. They keep having him do these TikToks and stuff to get people to go see his film, and no one wants to. And he keeps going around saying, like, he keeps posting, I've apologized. Okay. I've apologized. I've taken it down and I've apologized. Why is that not enough? Well, it's not enough for you when it's someone else. Really sucks when that shoe's on the other foot, doesn't it? I've had issues with Stephen King since I was a teenager, since I read It. And the older he got, the worse he got. I feel like him and Mark Hamill are two men who are so absolutely unaware of themselves, unaware of reality, have no idea what they're talking about half the time, and they're just getting older and more senile as they go. Like, Stephen King said The Flash was one of the best movies he'd ever seen. That was not. This is the complete polar opposite. I trust nothing that man says. And now, surprise, surprise, no one's going to see his movie. No one wants his books anymore. He did that to himself. Oh, yes. Oh, Rachel Ziegler. I tell you what, she is doing great. Of course, James Gunn said that he just took over the company. He had to sell tickets. But, I mean, we know that. We know why he said it. We know he's a liar. We know he's full of it. He's just trying to sell tickets to a movie he was just made responsible for. It is what it is. But yeah, Rachel Ziegler, good Lord, that child. She's doing wonderful on stage as Evita. She has an incredible instrument. That voice of hers is quite lovely. I will give credit where it is due. Amazing vocalist. Fantastic. I believe that Broadway is the place for her. Broadway is her niche, and she should flourish there. I wish her all the luck and flourishing on Broadway. So it's Mark Hamill and his social media lifestyle, we'll say. Him and Stephen King have pretty much, they're along the same lines. They don't really, they're not self-aware. We'll say that. Just not self-aware. But yeah. Yep. Backyard TARDIS. Mark Hamill at least had a post condemning those celebrating. You're right. See, I have him blocked on a lot of things, so I don't have to see it, because I have a really hard time of understanding that I don't have to respond to everything I see. But yes, I did see people screen cap and share that Mark Hamill did condemn those celebrating Kirk's death. So good for him. That's, at least there's some humanity there. Backyard TARDIS. I think he was trying 23 win back. The people that were upset at him over the last attempted shooting comment. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So back at it. Here, Maria says we should give people from a certain age a break on social media issues. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I can see that. Yes, but yes and no. I think they should at least have someone kind of do that. Let me see. You should not post this. Okay, let's try to word this differently. Should we try that? Or, yep, that's a good one. You can send that one, Grandpa. Good for you. Go on. Yep, Will Shatner is amazing. Will Shatner's almost 100 years old, and he is like one of my favorite people on the interwebs. Love him. Tony Todd. Tony Todd was an older gentleman. Amazing on social media. Amazing. I miss him every day. Yeah. I think if they're showing, repeated issues with that, struggling, they should definitely have someone help them in that regard, because they're not doing themselves any favors. They're kind of just showing this side of themselves that a lot of people are not liking, and celebrating someone's assassination is not what good people do. So, yeah. Listen, there are so many times I type something on my phone and it will repeat that word. It'll duplicate that word. And I don't know why it does that. So I got it. Anyway, Andor 1. Seth Rogen's show, the studio, it won like so many Emmys. I think it's won like the most Emmys for a comedy or something. I could barely get through the first 2 episodes of that series. Seth Rogen's character was so annoying to me. It was like nails on a chalkboard in my brain. Like, it just made he was too what's the word I'm looking for? Too high strung, there was just too much anxiety. I can't watch The Bear because it's too anxiety inducing for me. But I have not been able to watch Seth Rogen for years. I think the last great thing he did was The Interview. I've not found him funny for a long time. He's just gotten really weird to me. Like, the Sausage Party stuff is so excessive and it's just too much. I don't think he's that funny. He's kind of in the Jack Black category now for me. It's so I haven't been able to. A lot of people really like the studio, a lot of people. But honestly, there was another series on HBO Max called The Franchise that I liked way better, and it got canceled. So that sucks. I still think like Disney had a hand in that. The Interview was fantastic. It was damn near a perfect comedy. Like, it was really, really, really good. Randall Park was amazing in that. Absolutely love it. They ain't us. They hate us because they ain't us. Are you saying anus? Anyway, some other Emmy winners that might be notable to us. The documentary category, Pee-wee as Himself won. It's a fantastic documentary. Huge Pee-wee Herman fan. This house loves Pee-wee. Arcane on Netflix won for Outstanding Animated Program. Hold on, I got a sniffle. Let's see what else we got. Of course, SNL won. SNL. I feel like, okay, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert won an Emmy for Outstanding Talk Series, but it kind of feels like, you know what, he got canceled. That series got canceled, so let's just give him an Emmy. And he gets up there and he's like, anyone hiring? And then they gave him this standing ovation. He makes so much money. He's going to be fine. Conan O'Brien still got a lot of work. Jay Leno's super happy with his life. Like, why should we? I don't know. I don't get it. I haven't watched late night TV. Oh my God. 30 years, maybe? If I haven't watched it in a long time. It just hasn't been relevant to me in decades. Anything else that is relevant to us? Bryan Cranston won for the studio. Just a lot of Seth Rogen and Hacks. A lot of Seth Rogen and Hacks. Hacks is a good series. I like that one. I do. The Pit, of course, won several several Emmys. That is an amazing show. Absolutely love it. Noah Wiley won for The Pit. Dan Gilroy won for the writing in Andor. Welcome to the Rebellion. Yeah, I mean, not really a whole lot that would be relevant to the kind of stuff we talk about here. So basically, the Severance wins, Trammell Tillman, Britt Lower, Andor, and Krista Milioti winning for Penguin. So Adolescence was a big winner. Rebel Ridge. Adolescence, I have my issues with that. I really don't like how I hate how it's based on a true story, but we've changed literally everything. So you're not telling the true story. That feels very disrespectful to the people who actually suffered. It feels incredibly disrespectful. And that show has won award after award after award. And the show may be good. I've refused to watch it because they've changed virtually everything about the actual horrific story. They've changed everything. So it may be a good show for what it is, but I haven't watched it, so I can't make that judgment. But I do think it's sending the wrong message to laud all this praise on a show that has pretty much kind of spat in the face of the people who really did suffer in that horrific situation. So, anywho, couple red carpet moments. Sophia Falcone, not in the Batman Part 2. Apparently, Matt was absolutely impressed by her work in The Penguin. When she won her first award, he was like deep into writing the Batman 2 script, and there was no going back. There just wasn't a way to work her in that felt organic and made for good story. So it's called Adolescence on Netflix. Stephen Graham is in it. He's one of my favorite all-time actors, and he did win for that also, but they've changed virtually everything about the story. In the UK a few years ago, a young man unalived. I mean, this is a kid, okay? A kid unalived other kids, and it is based on a true story. And they race swapped the child, unaliver, assaulter, whatever, and other people in the story. So yeah, he should have known better. I mean, he didn't, he was one of the producers of The Penguin, but he didn't really have anything to do with it creatively. So we'll allow him some grace on that. James Marsden talked returning pops in Doomsday.
25 years later. Yeah, it's different. Well, I guess 20 years later. It's exciting. I mean, you can feel that it's something special. You can feel the world is ready for this movie and these worlds to kind of collide. And so,
did you ever think you'd be back 20 years later?
Mark Malkin.
I thought there was a chance, but I think once 10 years passed and then 20 years passed, it was like, well, that was a nice idea. But now, I guess they're just waiting for us all to get a little gray in the hair and long in the tooth to bring us back. So
the MCU is the gray CU, the gray CU. Yes.
There you go. Nicely done.
What's a lot?
Mark Malkin. Did he? Because I heard otherwise. I heard that it was based on the true story. If it's not based on a true story, that's one thing. But, I mean, kids hurting kids. I don't know if I can watch that. I was getting ready to say, what does it feel like calling Hugh Jackman daddy? Yeah. So anyway, back to our main topic, since we are way over the amount of time we usually spend. Oh, that's Peacemaker. Where's my... Here it is. After 3.5 years since they announced Henry Cavill's exit and Liam Hemsworth filling his boots, we have our first official look at Liam Hemsworth as Geralt of Rivia, aka The Witcher. And I'm going to say, preface this by saying this is not Liam's fault. I actually feel bad for Liam Hemsworth. This guy, he auditioned for Thor and lost it to his big brother, but then was like, it's okay. I've got a franchise too. I've got Hunger Games. It's going to be my ticket and I'm going to get big and famous like Chris. And no, he didn't. He's poor guy. Then there was the whole Miley Cyrus thing. Poor Liam. So now he's Geralt of Rivia. And first and foremost, I just want to point out, he is so much smaller than Henry Cavill. Look how very skinny. He's so much skinnier than Henry Cavill. So there's that part. And he doesn't play him like Henry at all. And I saw someone post yesterday, they shared this, and I'm like, why are people so mad about this? He literally looks the same. And they put him in Henry's face. That had to be a bot, because any human being with eyeballs and decent vision can see they do not look the same at all. This clip is not enough to convince me that this is going to work. First of all, should have been going to Golden Corral and packing on the LBs, packing on the pounds. Yeah, poor guy. He's there to work. I'm sure he was probably very excited to get the role. But the majority of the writers on this show have ran off every bit of talent. We know why Henry Cavill left. They bullied him. They made fun of him for wanting to protect the source material. They bullied him for wanting to respect those books. Those books are precious to the Polish people. They are something very, very precious to him. It's kind of like, what's an American thing? C.S. Lewis American? I think he was British. Oh, maybe, I don't know. He doesn't have. I'll agree to that. He doesn't quite have the charisma that his brother Chris does. I don't really think Luke has that kind of charisma either. I like Luke too, but Chris is definitely the Rizzler in that family, as the kids say. But they ran off Henry. They bullied him, they badgered him, they made fun of him, and they ran off writers and producers too. Did you know Bo DiMaio was a writer on this series? I just found out yesterday that he actually wrote some of my favorite episodes. And he was a producer for the first 2 seasons. He was a producer and he was a writer. And for the same reasons that Henry had issues with the series, Bo had issues with the series. And after the 2nd season, he left because he got offered to do X-Men 97. So he left to work on that full time. And was like, screw these people. They don't give a shit about the source material at all. I know he's hurt himself working on Highlander. And I saw, and I really think they're bots too, but people posting things saying, how Henry Cavill's at home laughing, you know, about the two people who replaced him, David Cornsweet and Liam Hemsworth. I'm like, first of all, you don't think that highly of him if you believe he's going to be that petty. Like if he's actually sitting there and obsessing about this, he's focusing energy on this. I guarantee you he's not. Cavill's living his best freaking life. He's a dad. He's got a new baby, his first child. He's got Voltron that he just finished, Warhammer series, which is like his nerdy dream to produce, and the Highlander movie. He's good. He's happy. He's wealthy. He's in his lane, moisturized. He's good. So I don't think he's that issue, that obsessed with it, as they try to say. Back here, Taurus, I saw that post and thought they did look similar, though. I have bad eyesight either way, though it's a moot point because the show is awful, so it doesn't matter. Listen, it fell off in a major way after they lost specific writers and producers, because then there was no one left to stand their ground and say, don't do that. Henry Cavill actually asked Bo to come back. And he's like, I would like you to come back. I need someone to have my back with these decisions they're making. And he's like, I can't. I'm full steam ahead at X-Men 97. Yeah, I think they finished filming, didn't they? We'll have to look that up. But yeah, the show fell off in a big way. That last anime was, or that movie they did, or the spin-off series was, oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was just like straight to VHS level, which I'm going to be real with you.
It's a wraith. Stand back. With these words, your mortal shall meet my fate of fiery hell.
Review this real quick. But, I mean, I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't, the quality just isn't there. The quality that season 1 and season 2 had, it's just not there. And are his eyes yellow? I can't tell. I can't tell. Okay. See, he just... That's just not Geralt of Rivia to me. I understand he's a totally different actor, okay? They're two totally different people, and unless you're legit identical twins, you're not going to look alike. But when an actor is recast, when they recast a character, I mean, the goal is to try and make it look as seamless as you possibly can. Do everything you can to help the viewers, because it takes you out. It completely takes you out. It's no longer immersive. Because that's what all you can think about is, that's not the guy. Here we go. And then I'm going to take you to my tomb. And he says, no. See, does that sword seem smaller too? I feel like the sword is smaller. Why is he looking at it? Yeah, I'm just... I don't feel any hype whatsoever. I really liked season 1 and season 2. and it's just really fallen off for me. And this kind of feels like the death knell. He doesn't seem as... He doesn't have that intimidating presence that Henry Cavill had as Geralt of Rivia. And Liam Hemsworth had to be like nervous about that. Anxious, have a lot of anxiety, like, oh my God, they're releasing it. I feel bad for him. He has a smaller sword because of genetics. Not every man can have a large sword. Smaller dudes have smaller swords. It's nothing to be ashamed about. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know. But it does feel like, Mom, I want the Witcher. We have the Witcher at home. Here's your Witcher at home. Or they ran out of Witcher, so they ordered it from Wish. And that's also why it took so long to get here. Poor Liam. Poor Liam. Yeah, I just don't feel any hype. It drops October 30th, and it will most like it's the end. It's the last season of The Witcher. There will be no more. Absolute shame. They really had something there a few years back, and their writer's room bullied the lead, bullied their star and other writers. It's Hollywood today. That's a shame. That's a shame. That is a shame. Well, if you have any questions, comments, or emotional outbursts about any of our topics today, leave it in the chat below. We're going to wrap things up. Just to remind everyone, I will be on hiatus next week. The entire week, I will be on hiatus. I may post a little bit here and there while I'm gone, but I will be on hiatus. I will have some clips thanks to Kino, who has worked quite a bit on different videos, getting some clips lined up for me. I will have those scheduled to drop while I am getting my new leg, and I will work as hard as I possibly can to get the Supergirl breakdown edited and uploaded this week. Let me tell you something. It's unhinged. I had the hardest time researching that topic because they have rebooted and recycled Supergirl more times than I could keep track of. And so my notes were all over the place. So I did my very best, and I hope you guys like it. So I will be dropping that soon. I will do my very best to get that out there for you guys. But I do have some content that will be dropping while I'm out of town. But there will be no live streaming. No live streaming because I have to go get a leg. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Maria. I'm doing my best, but I'm going to miss you. I miss you so much. So, anywho, there's that. If you would like to remind me that I didn't have my overlay on the entire time, please remind me of those things. But if you would like to support the channel, the best way to do it is the freest way. And that's just by hitting that like button, subscribing if you're new, ringing the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with more of this nerdy stuff, sharing it, dropping a comment, telling a friend, telephone, all that stuff. It's the best way to let our algorithm overlords know that you are enjoying what I'm putting out there. If you would like to help support the channel in other ways, I would truly appreciate that. This is not easy. It doesn't happen by itself. I spend a lot of time. I probably work probably 12 hours a day on the channel. I don't think that would be an overestimate. 7 days a week. So I spend a lot of time, I spend a lot of time researching stuff, writing, and then there's the posting across multiple platforms. And there's no way to just, there is a way to do it on one thing and have it drop to multiple things, but it costs like an assload of money. Like, you have no idea. It's like $700 something a month or something like that. And that's ridiculous. But, yeah, so it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort, energy into this. So if you would like to help chip in, the best ways to do it are, we do have super chats available. So if you want to drop a super chat, those get preferential treatment above all other chats, obviously. And of course, members, welcome again, new members, Loki and Miss Penny. Why is it not? Come on. You can play. Why is it? There it goes. So you can join as a channel member, and we will have members only watch parties. We got stuff lined up for that. You get preferential treatment, you get shout outs, you get your own little emojis and members only posts and polls and stuff. There's some stuff. But if you don't like any of those options, we have others. You can scan that QR code right there, and it'll take you to buymeacoffee.com/comicsandmua, and you can chip in as little or as much as you can. There's also Cash App. These are all secure websites. I promise you, you are perfectly safe. I've double and triple checked before I implemented them. And there's also the Patreon, the first official Nerdling Army, 3 different tiers, as little as $3 a month. You get exclusive merch that you cannot get anywhere else, behind the scenes outtakes, and early access. Pardon me. That's another perk of channel membership, early access. Sorry. So go to patreon.com/comicsand to check out the Nerdling Army over there. I have a merch store, comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com. I have lots and lots of designs, hundreds of designs, all made by yours truly. That's just one more thing that I have to do for the channel, but I still enjoy doing it. So there's that as well. If you want to shop from Amazon, amazon.com/shop/comics and ... You will find all of my lists for Amazon, all of my recommendations, viewing, reading, cosmetics, skincare, podcasts, special effects, household, you name it. It's all right there. If there's a list you want, let me know and I'll put something together. I'm an affiliate for several companies like Zenny Optical. All these links are in the description below. If you check out my Zenny Optical link in the description below, I will save you 10%. Highly recommend their IQ lens with Zenny ID Guard. Super helpful. Helps keep my digital life totally safe. I have self-tanner dots on my hand. Look at that. It has actually worked. Like, it filters that infrared light so that AI can't scan you and steal your identity or whatever. And, they work great as sunglasses. They're very helpful inside. They filter that blue light so that I don't get migraines from working on the computer all day. And I can just wear them outside and they darken into sunglasses. So very helpful. And there's over 2,500 different frames to choose from. And they have this really cool software where, you turn your camera on and they'll put the glasses on your face so you can see how they look. So highly recommend. Check my link in the description below. This podcast is powered by the Red 5 Network. We are a collective of exclusively nerdy podcasters and content creators here to educate, entertain you. So if you like this podcast, chances are you're going to love more of my Red 5 family. So go check out red5.bio.link today to discover more of the Red 5 Network. Everything that I've just told you about, all my announcements, everything, it's on comics-and.com. All my reviews, my gallery, updates, everything on the channel. Every link, everything you need to be an expert in Comics And is right there at comics-and.com. gmail.com. All right, guys, that's all I got. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday. I will be back tomorrow morning with more of this nerdy nonsense. But until then, keep your eyes peeled. Okay? Because
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you!
Hey nerdlings, gather around. Dani's in the house and the hype's inbound. From sci-fi dreams to super real schemes, she's the queen of comics and everything in between. Makeup brush in one hand, pen in the other, crafting worlds like no one's ever discovered. Sci-fi writer, pinch creator, going live on stream. There's no one greater. Comics and everything, we dive so deep into stories and secrets that the nerds all keep. Comics and everything, the chat's alive. Monday through Friday, Dani provides the vibe. Superheroes, villains, fantasy lore. Every day there's something new to explore. From Star Wars stars to Marvel fights, breaking nerdy news, keeping chat up